From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Friday, September 1st, 2017. Silver is trading at $17.56 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,320 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at 4.3 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $4,785. Antiwar.com reports the U.S. State Department has admitted in its own statement on the U.S. closing the Russian consulate in San Francisco that the move comes amid a downward spiral in our relationship. This is an unusual admission that relations are both at an all-time low and continuing to worsen at a rapid pace. While the latest hostile U.S. moves come with some lip service about the U.S. hoping to improve relations, this does not seem a sincere expectation. Rather, the State Department's comments seem more interested in trying to shift the blame. The State Department credited itself for only closing one consulate and 2 annexes, saying they have chosen to allow the Russian government to maintain some of its annexes to try to keep the situation getting worse. One official was quoted as saying, "It is our hope that the Russians will recognize that they were the ones who started the discussion on facility closures," citing the recent U.S. loss of a warehouse in Moscow and a vacation house. Absent in all official U.S. comments were the December 2016 U.S. moves to expel Russian diplomats and seize 2 vacation houses. While Russia couched their closures as retaliation for that, U.S. officials are choosing to ignore December and present Thursday's moves as retaliation for Russia's closures. The comments about hoping for better relations does not appear realistic, as the closure of a consulate is a major step forward in escalation of tensions and will almost certainly oblige Russia to take further moves. This tit-for-tat measure shows no sign of ending anytime soon. The best we can hope is that it does not further escalate. When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more. UPI reports the Food and Drug Administration issued an alert this week for a voluntary recall of approximately 500,000 pacemakers that are vulnerable to being hacked. The FDA said Abbott's, formerly known as St. Jude's, is recalling the devices to reduce the risk of patient harm to potential exploitation of cybersecurity vulnerabilities. The models of pacemaker and cardiac resynchronization therapy pacemaker devices affected by the recall include the Accent Anthem, Accent MRI, Accent ST, Assurity, and the Allure. Patients who use any of the pacemakers on the list are advised to consult their physician for information on getting firmware updates in the device, which is supposed to secure them against the hacking vulnerability. The hacking of medical devices like pacemakers is a growing concern for the cybersecurity and medical community. In 2012, the Government Accountability Office advised the FDA to expand its focus on these threats. For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals. Gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. They don't feed the banks. They're Bitcoin preferred and have removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports a Texas law restricting a second trimester abortion technique, initially due to take effect on Friday, was put on hold for 2 weeks pending a court hearing on a challenge to the legislation, according to a federal judge in Austin, Texas. U.S. District Judge Lee Yeakel on Thursday granted a temporary restraining order against the ban on a procedure known as dilation and evacuation, requested by Planned Parenthood and other organizations challenging the law. Abortion opponents call the procedure fetal dismemberment, and it would be barred under the law passed by the Republican-controlled legislature and signed by Republican Governor Greg Abbott. Women's health groups say that the Texas abortion law is already so restrictive that it forces more women to seek the procedure during the second trimester instead of earlier. They argue that dilation and evacuation is the safest procedure and is performed before the fetus is viable. Under Yeakel's ruling, the law was stopped from going into effect until a hearing set for September 14th in U.S. District Court for the Western District of Texas in Austin. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.